Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of Birds vs. Boys, we could say, because we have kind of lost track. We're like close to 200. So we appreciate you. If you have not yet, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're listening to this, or if you just found this clip on Twitter. Head over to YouTube, smash the subscribe button. Our subscribers are going through the roof, and this is where a bulk of our content has been going. Aidan has been doing a phenomenal job with short clips talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. I have a new clip that is just going to drop about the top 3 Dallas Cowboys under the microscope in 2023. And this is going to be the format that we're going to be doing a lot heading forward. Short clips, me talking Dallas Cowboys, Aidan talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, us together talking about both of our teams and the NFL, and then some short, really impactful interviews on there as well. So, Aidan, I begged. You want to beg too? Just tell them. Click the.
Yes, please, 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 please. We have families to feed. Kevin has a kid. She needs to eat. He's painting the room. Someone's got to pay for that paint. So the subscribers have to go up so that our families can eat. Rent's not cheap these days. He's got the girl dad shirt on. So you know that I'm not lying.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I think what we're going to do as well is combine all these into an audio episode as well, so that we have it there. And then one day we'll randomly say it's 200 and be like, all right, congratulations. We made it to 200.
We'll have a party.
We'll have a party. We'll just choose a random day.
I would say probably with all the short clips and stuff, we're pretty damn close to 200.
Oh, we're over,
if not
200.
over.
Yeah, I think we're well over at this point of the 200. But oh well, we'll choose a day and celebrate.
And since it's 2023 and we know people's attention spans are not as long anymore, we are going to hold ourselves to shorter episodes. Right? We sometimes tell ourselves we're going to do short episodes, and then we're an hour and 27 minutes in, and producer wants to kill us. So we are going to hit you with good content in short spurts, right? 20 minutes here, 25 minutes, maybe a 30-minute max. But that's about it.
There's only so many ways I can praise Jalen Hurts. After a while, after so many 20-minute videos, it all starts to sound the same. 20 minutes, 1 hour. I can only rave about the Georgia defense for so long before it becomes white noise. So I figure 20 minutes is good.
All right. Well, we've already wasted 2 minutes and 30 seconds here, so I think we got to get into the content. So I will let you start because, well, we'll just say the Eagles finished further than the Cowboys last year, so that'll be the flip of the coin. You can go first.
Sure. Okay. Draft over with. Live stream. Awesome. Georgia. Awesome. Good at defense. Players from their team. Now on our team. I am. So this is kind of funny. I'm excited for some based on OTAs, and I'm worried about others. And you will appreciate this one. So let me start with my concern, because if you are new and you're listening to this, you're going to say that is the dumbest take I've ever heard. Kevin, you're going to understand what I'm saying. Okay. There's a report that came out that said Jordan Davis has made massive strides from last year to this year's OTAs. And when you hear that, you're like, oh, massive strides. That's a good thing. Everybody should try to make progress at work, right? It doesn't have to be just pertinent to football. If you make massive strides at your job, that's a good thing. Here's the problem. Their work office is on Sundays in the fall. So if you're making massive strides in OTAs, that's like the equivalent of you and me being like, oh, they were on time at 9 a.m. this morning. Mm-hmm. It's not quite the same. I don't need to see massive strides in OTAs when they're playing against dummies and they don't have pads on. It concerns me that you make massive strides and there's nobody that's blocking you. Yes. I need to see it on a Sunday.
What is does the massive strides just mean like he knows where to line up now, or he's not 800 pounds?
Okay, see, that's what concerns me. Like, what massive strides could you have made in springtime football with shorts on? And the Eagles, which I like, are notoriously lean in their practice schedule. They keep it light to avoid injuries. So what strides have you made that it's so impressive and you guys aren't really doing that much?
He was able to do 8 drills instead of 5 this year.
Yeah, I don't know. And listen, everybody knows who's been here before. Jordan Davis was my guy last year. I wanted him. I think he'll be very, very successful. It's just so funny. The opposite. You'd hear massive strides and be a fan of him and be like, okay, that's awesome. Yeah, great. No. That's not how my brain works. I mean, that alerts me that there were strides that really needed to be made. Yes. And now we're making them in OTAs. Okay. So we'll see how that one goes. And then, yeah, do you agree though? You see where I'm coming from?
Yes,
Yeah,
I completely understand the concept of your nervousness. Now,
it's
I think it's ultimately a good thing, right? Like you said, you
yeah,
want to continue to get better. He's obviously getting better. But I will say, he also, I don't want to say that his rookie season was a disappointment, but it didn't have, it wasn't what the hype was of the first round pick,
hmm
but he had the injuries, right?
yeah,
And they also just had an unbelievable defense where it was hard for a rookie to get on the field at times. But you also did see the run defense, how much it was better when he was on the field early in the season. So, uh, I would love to, be a fly on the wall in the defensive line coaching meeting with Sirianni and be like, and know what these strides exactly are.
yes, okay, exactly. That me too. So, and like you said, he was effective when he was on the field on Sunday. So I don't know what these massive strides are. And then pretty much effectively, he didn't lose his spot because this is a team that rotates through, but they just had more guys that could play by the time he got back because he literally and figuratively was a massive hole when he
Yes.
had that high ankle sprain and wasn't in there. They bring in Sue, they bring in Linval Joseph, and then there's not as many snaps to go around. There's not those big strides to be made that there are now. So we'll see with him. Uh, I've made it 6.5 minutes without mentioning the Sixers. This is the problem. I hear massive strides in the offseason, and I think of that fuckface, Ben Simmons, putting out those edited videos of him pretending to have a jump shot in the summertime. And now I can't ever believe that an athlete is actually having a good offseason. I'm
And
just
and
trained that you can't.
and that is me from the Cowboys perspective with the damn Ezekiel Elliott training videos in the offseason the last 3 years of him just going dodging trash cans and like just dancing like this. And everyone's like, Zeke looks fire. I'm like, he's dancing past a trash can. Let's see what happens when Ndamukong Suh is in his face.
Yes. And also, you say this all the time, and I agree. If you hear the term best shape of your life,
You're done.
run.
You're done.
Run for your life.
He's
It
never
never
he's
means
never
anything.
been quicker.
Yeah.
Best shape of his life. He's been grinded. It's like what's his name? Bone for the he accidentally put on 45 pounds.
15 pounds of muscle. Hey, he had the walk off hit today, so it counted for something.
There you go.
But you hear those things, you're like, hold on.
Yeah.
What was wrong before that you had to do these things?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's in the best shape of their life. Remember when Cam Newton went vegan? Like that was supposed to solve anything? Like, no, that's not helping.
You know what's really funny
No.
right now, and this has nothing to do with anything that we're talking about, but this is what happens on our show. I'm looking out
Yes.
my window at my next door neighbors. They have had a car detailing service that comes to your house and washes your car. They've had two of their cars done. It is now 8:23. These guys have been here since 3 o'clock, and they like foamed the car like intense, and now it is just massively downpouring outside.
Is it really? It's not raining here. We don't live
Yeah,
that far apart.
on
That
their
is
perfectly 4 hourly
oh
washed car.
yeah, that is funny. I mean, I don't know your neighbors, but it's always funny when people put a lot of effort in, and it's like they spend their money
Okay,
on something like that. It's like boom, downpour. But my one
I
neighbor,
digress.
I told you about the guy who just like cut the tree down because
Yes.
pollen and leaves were getting on his
Yep.
car. Yeah, so I hope it rains on his car every day because it's the most insane thing. Uh, back on track. We're trying to stay on track. One other OTA thing, two things, but they're tied in together. I said all that stuff about not buying into the hype of like a quote about a guy who's in the best shape of his life or has made massive strides. I watched one rep of Jalen Carter hitting the sled. I'm like, oh boy, he
You're
got me.
bought in.
I'm in.
Listen. I've seen that as well. I've seen that with Jalen Smith. Calm down.
Right? Yes, I know. It's so bad. I can't help myself. I get too excited. I did like that Josh Sweat came out and said, like, I'm glad that these guys are here because they got a championship pedigree. They act like it around the locker room. That's what I need. I want guys who come in and kind of understand what the goals are here, and it's winning, it's trying to compete for a championship, trying to constantly win the division, and just having that mentality on day one really helps. You could teach them talent things and technique. You can't teach that to just
Yep.
have that like championship mentality coming in.
Yep.
So That was a quote where I was like, all right, that I can actually buy into. And there's proof to back it up.
Talk to me about this offseason hubbub about Derek Barnett. I saw a tweet like, not giving up on him, and Darius Slay retweeted him like, my homie's gonna absolutely go off this year. It's like,
Is he though? Is he though? Is he though?
I didn't even realize he still was on the team, to be honest with you.
Right. Yeah. All right. He was one of my players under the microscope for one of the YouTube shorts that we did. You did 3 for the Eagles or 3 for the Cowboys. I did 3 for the Eagles. Derek Barnett was number 1 because, like you just mentioned, sometimes you forget he's on the team. He got hurt in week 1, tore his ACL, didn't play for the rest of the season. They almost
See, I
set the
didn't even
sacks
realize that.
record.
Didn't even know he tore his.
Yeah. And also, he was like bad vibes alert the year before. He's the only defensive end in the history of the league who you were actually concerned when he was near the quarterback instead of vice versa. He would get near them and you'd be like, uh-oh, bad things are happening. You see another defensive end of yours near the quarterback, you're like, yes, they're doing a good job. Him, no. So could he come back and be effective? They need him to. It's a position they care about so much, and they rotate through defensive end, and Brandon Graham's a year older. But I've just seen too many years of just dumb penalties.
Mm-hmm.
The coach doesn't even trust you. You have the soundbite of him saying it's always him with the penalties. I don't know. Like, could he be something? Yeah, it's a contract year, saving his career and getting him another contract. So, yeah, he could be effective. Am I going to put a lot of weight into Derek Barnett? No.
And last thing on the Eagles before we hit to the Cowboys quick. DJ Fluker. I mean, I saw it on Twitter that, he's kind of been one of the storylines of the offseason. If you are an NFL nut like we are, following, the shape that he's gotten into, and the here we go again, best shape of your life workout videos that are coming out there.
Oh no!
And now he's in Philadelphia.
Oh yikes! This is bad timing. But I was gonna say this is like a comedy sketch where you like bring something back at the end of your skit. Best shape of his life. I'm in. But on a serious note, I would be in because you wouldn't need him to make an immediate impact. And I like that we have this foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have foundation, you try to find cheap depth pieces. And I think he would be that. Like if he turns into something and he's played multiple positions on the offensive line, I think he would be good. They have some young guys that they're developing. So if he played this year while they get Tyler Steen ready, that's not going to bother me at all. Or Cam Jurgens, where does he play? All of these things. So if they bring him in and he's a depth piece, they did lose multiple depth pieces, like Andre Dillard's gone, Sayamalu left. So yeah, if you want to bring him in and he's a backup, and if he has to make a start, you can kind of trust him a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. But that's what good teams do when you already have that foundation. And if you're a team relying on him day one, you're in trouble. If you're a team that's like, yeah, we might need you for a start here or there, okay, that's a little bit different.
So, and this kind of perfectly leads into the Dallas Cowboys, and
go for it.
The Eagles bring in DJ Fluker. That's such an Eagles thing, right? That's what good teams do. Where the Cowboys, like, they have an offensive line depth issue right now. This is a guy that is in the best shape of his life, so they should bring him in.
He's made massive strides. People don't realize this.
But in all honesty, like, okay, why not bring him in for a workout, right? Why not see what he has? Because the Dallas Cowboys have, like I said, issues on the offensive line, right? Let's walk through this, Aidan. So right tackle, right? Terence Steele tore his ACL towards the end of the season last year. They have said he has been making massive strides in his recovery.
Oh,
and
no.
he does look good in off-season workout videos. So
we are suckers.
But we still don't know if he's going to be ready for week one or when. And we see how some guys look after an ACL surgery, hence a Michael Gallup last year. I know it's a much different position, but a lot of it's mental too, right? So we'll see how he plays. You could use a guy behind him that, then you have your guard in Zach Martin, which there's been rumblings about retirement. He's going to play this year. He's going to play at a high level, but you need a plan there. Tyler Biadasz at center. I think he's got a pretty much stranglehold on this, but then your left guard, left tackle. What the hell is going on there, right? Tyler Smith was the first round pick last year, played very, very well at left tackle. They had him in at left guard a little bit. But then Tyron Smith, after tearing his hamstring, came back, played a little right tackle, you know, didn't look great. They re-signed him, right? They restructured, but we don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to stick Tyron Smith back at left tackle and put Tyler Smith at left guard, which I think is somewhat of a progress stopper, right? We saw the rookie at left tackle. We saw how well he played. It's time to let him continue to grow at that position of need.
Mm-hmm.
But that puts a hole there at left guard, right? Because Tyron Smith is not going to play left guard. He would be your swing tackle. But we also know, and I don't know if you know this, Tyron Smith has not played a full season during Dak Prescott's career.
Really?
Well,
I
I
did
think
not
it was
know that.
2015 was the last time he played an entire season. So we know he's going to get hurt, right? So they brought in Chuma Adoga on the free agent deal that I think he has a chance to start at left guard if they decide to put Tyler Smith at left tackle. And they have Matt Waletzko, and they brought in TJ Bass from Oregon as a rookie. They got who's the other rookie that they signed from? Let me see here. Alex Taylor. They have Bostic, but it's a position of need, right? And it's a offensive line was the
plug names.
reason why they were the team they were in 2016. How many times, Aiden, in the last 3 years have I said this is not the 2016 offensive line? So this is the type of guy that I would love for them to bring in because, like you said, he doesn't need to be a starter day one. If he shows up and he's balling out and he can start, great. If not, he's a depth piece, perfect. But that's what good teams do.
Yeah, I same thing. Low risk, high reward, hopefully. Although I think it's a little bit more of a pressing situation, like you mentioned, on the offensive line for the Cowboys and the Eagles. But the same kind of logic applies. It's like, all right, this guy has experience. He is exercising well, to put it one way. He is strong and healthy. So why not at least give it a shot? You got to plug something in there.
And he seems like he's all in, wants to play. So,
we'll
see. We'll see.
Massive human being, by the way. Couldn't believe those videos.
Oh God, huge. And the Philadelphia Eagles just have a boatload of just massive humans on both sides of the line.
Seems to be working, by the way.
Yeah,
just crazy how the math works.
Go big or go home,
as the kids say.
The kids these days. And then some things from OTAs. Not a ton happens in OTAs, right? Big strides from guys.
You can make massive strides.
Yeah,
I don't know
what you can. But I was just happy to see guys like Deuce Vaughn. I'm super excited to see him on the field. How they gonna line him up, right? I would love to see him put him out in the slot a little bit. Seeing him wearing number 42 is a little strange. I don't really love that for a running back. Yeah,
no, that's bad.
That's ugly. He wore 22 in college. Can't wear 22 here. But maybe
why not?
I don't know. There have been people on Twitter petitioning to let him. Okay, it's easy. I'm a Deuce Vaughn guy. I like him a lot, but he's a 6th round pick. He's 5'5". Let's pump the brakes and see what he can do a little bit. And then, like I said, how they're going to work the offensive line, and I'm really interested, mostly in this entire offseason, to just see what this offense is going to look like in terms of the running game and these weapons, right? We really need to see these other receivers start to step up, and this is when it has to start happening, right? A guy like Jalen Tolbert, who basically had a redshirt year last year as a rookie, besides a massive offsides penalty in overtime in Green Bay, which, again, why the fuck was he on the field? That was his biggest moment in the entire season.
I forgot about that game.
Up basically 21 points in the fourth, and they lose it. Imagine if they had won that game. Anyway, we digress. Guys like Semi Fehoko, who always seems to be a big training camp guy, makes massive strides every year, and then gets hurt or doesn't show up. And then a guy like Michael Gallup, who, I don't know if you saw this last week, fully admitted that there was some mental hurdles and issues that he was going through last year. Is he going to have a bounce back season? And it needs to start now.
We thought that, right? there was a point where they were like, "Oh, he'll be back soon." He's like, "I'm not close to being back."
Yep.
We called that very early on last season.
And
that
basically,
he
the
was
medical
not as
people were like,
close as
he's
they were
good.
saying. Yes. We called that very early that there was something he was not ready. So that makes sense. And I would trust him more than some of these other guys.
100%. And I like that for a guy to come out and say that helps me put more trust in them. Like, okay, I'm good with that. You know what? You admitted it. You went through it. And he said, like, I'm happy every day. I'm at the facility now. Like, I'm ready to ball. So, and we know the type of player that Michael Gallup can be, and they need him to stretch the field. I mean, we saw what happened. T.Y. Hilton immediately became their number 2 wide receiver when they signed him. And that's just, 3rd and 30, baby.
3rd and 30. I have nothing to complain about last year, but I'm still going to complain about that the whole day I die.
I'll never forget. It was Christmas Eve. I was upstairs feeding my daughter her bottle, and I had the phone on the game, but everybody downstairs, all the Eagles fans, the game was ahead of me, and I heard yes. And I'm like, damn it! And then they stopped them, and then I was like, I heard what now? I'm like, oh my god, are they going to convert this? And then I saw it.
Unbelievable. I will never get over that play.
But that's pretty much it that's going on this is the slow time. I mean, once we get closer and closer to training camp, I mean, I'm excited about the rookies. I think Mozzie Smith really does have a chance to be molded by Dan Quinn and Dayton Erden. My God, I'm having a brain fart on the defensive line coach, but DA. I think he's going to make strides. He is, and I mean, whether you like it or not, he was, I think, a division pick too, right? He was a pick to help stop the Philadelphia Eagles running game and those, and you have to do that sometimes. So did they take him maybe 10 spots too early? Maybe, but they found their guy. They filled a need and they went and got him. So I have nothing. I can't hurt him for that.
Yeah. And like sometimes you take a guy a few picks early. Sometimes a guy who's getting mocked to you at 10 falls all the way to 30 and you take him. It's just, the roll of the dice that is the NFL draft.
And sometimes you take a thug at 9. It happens.
First of all, no, he hit the sled hard. It's over. Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how quickly we forget. And it was Cowboys bring nothing but thugs in. Now, how the turntables have turned.
No. Jalen Hurts is a saint.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. That's all I got because we have an interview now that if you're listening on audio, it's going to be connected to this. If you're watching on YouTube, like this video, comment on it, and then click back and click on the interview and then watch that. We appreciate it.
And if you subscribe, it just goes to the next video. It's crazy technology in 2023. So you get both and don't have to lift a finger.
So easy.
Wow.
So we are doing an interview now with Stevie from Cowboys Due Diligence on Twitter. He has a great following, has great insights on the Cowboys overall. So check out that interview. And Aidan, just tell the people one more time what they need to do before we get out of here.
Subscribe to the YouTube, please.
That's it. I don't even have time to take a sip of my tea.
Easy money.
YouTube,
done.
Twitter, TikTok, anywhere you listen to podcasts, we are there. Subscribe to all, like to all, comment on all, and tell your friends, tell your family. Birds vs. Boys pod. It may sound like it's just for Birds fans and Boys fans, but it's not. It's for all NFL fans. And hey, maybe we're going to do some live streams soon. Maybe we're going to be out at some bars soon. You can come party with us. We'll let you know. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know why I said that. I've never said that before.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds vs. Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Yep. Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things.
I got 2 phones.
Upset alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there.
There's no hope. Hope is gone. If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope.
I'm going to drink bleach.
That is
the team you promised me you were going to be this year.
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.